Welcome to another gorgeous day on planet Earth and another day of Dose of Did You Know, where inspiring, intriguing, unique individuals come to talk about love and life and how it brought them to where they are today. And with me is one of my dear friends, Rich Big Daddy Salgado. You know, I never call you Rich. I always call you Big Daddy.
Well, I like that.
It kind of felt weird, like flowing off out of my mouth, like Richard. But how are you today?
I'm doing outstanding. Thank you for asking. How are you doing?
Better now that we are together because it has been a while. Usually, everybody, Rich and I get together. There's wine, there's cheese involved. It is an amazing time that we have. But you know, he gives me crap because I've been traveling a lot and not to New York.
Yes, we'll let everyone know how I feel. And it's, it's like the kid at Christmas waiting for Santa Claus.
Not to make you sweet talker Italian. But before we get started, tell the world a little bit about who Big Daddy is.
Well, throughout the years, it's changed. It's taken on new, like tentacles.
Yeah.
I started, I'm in the insurance business. That's what I do for a living. And, I insure everything A to Z. But the sexy part of my business is the professional athlete entertainment side of it, which I've been doing now for, 25 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've gotten into being a correspondent for Fox and Friends Super Bowl week. And I've been a regular on Fox News, Fox Business, Fox and Friends. And, I've had that great fortune of being able to do that. And then now I'm adding more to the pipeline. I happen to be a board member and of a new company called Gas It Up. It is a mobile fueling business. Which, we'd have to discuss it in depth another time. And then to add even more pizzazz to my portfolio, I'm getting involved in the food business. I'm not going to get into specifics yet, but it is something exciting, and I've been looking forward to for quite a while now.
I'm not going to give anything away. I do know what it is, and it is going to be amazing. I'm just going to say that. It's going to be delicious.
It will be delicious, and you think I get asked for things now? Oh, when that comes out, the line will be long and furious.
Right? So you do like all these things. And yes, the insurance business is not your sexy thing that you do. It's not your sexy forte. All of these other things. How did you get involved? How did you get involved with these, professional athletes and that whole realm in Fox News? Because I feel like that is what a lot of people want. But they don't even know where to start or they don't know what to do. But how are you blessed with that?
Well, the insurance thing started with a friend of mine that I grew up with. He asked me to come into the business because, he knew I had the gift of gab and I knew people and whatnot.
He does have the gift of gab, people. Like, you're going to be, if he wants you, you're in. You can't say no.
So, thank you. But so that kind of led that the insurance thing. And then, I had a conversation, actually, it's funny, this morning with a friend of mine who I know for some 25 years. And what led to Fox was being at the right place at the right time and meeting a producer. And then I started like booking, talent.
Mm-hmm.
And I became the talent, being asked to come on and do interviews and whatnot. And then I started working at the Super Bowl, and it was like one of those things where I just got handed a mic and go do what you know what to do or how to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know how to do this. This is really like new to me. So And it was funny because the same people that you would see on TV, whether they were an athlete, an entertainer, or actor or actress, all of a sudden I'm like interviewing them. So it was kind of funny. Here I am, and I'm interviewing John Legend. I'm doing Alice Cooper. I'm sitting down with him and eating at his restaurant, and it's just led to this wild ride that it could end tomorrow, and I hope it doesn't. But it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And again, it's just doing what you say you can do, and not trying to be much bigger than you are. I'm a big person to begin with, but I don't need to say I could do X, Y, and Z when I can't.
Yes, you do take up a lot of space, energy and physically. You're tall. You're like, I'm like this. I'm not a small person, and I am a small person when we get together. I'm like this little. If you ever, ladies out there, if you ever want to feel petite, go hang out with Big Daddy. You will feel like a princess and petite. But that's a side note. You did have a football career. You're not like you did some footballing around in your past.
Yeah, I went to the University of Maryland, and which is well documented. And then it's funny. I stayed in football, but I just didn't have to wear pads to do it. I've been going to games, and I've been working Super Bowls and Pro Bowls and combines, and obviously, unfortunately, right now all that's come to a bitter halt.
Yeah.
If everybody knows my youngest brother is a coach on the Buffalo Bills, so if he were to go to the Super Bowl, then I will be there. I won't be there in a working capacity unless Fox has me do something, but which I may, because I may have 2 interviews that I know they'd be dying to get, and but if not, I'm going as a supporter of my brother and the Bills, and so that's exciting.
It isn't, but you've always had that in your blood. Like football must be in your blood. That must be the love and your passion, which kind of has brought you to where you are today. It seems like that is the foundation. It's always around you. Even you guys have a camp that you do.
Yeah. We have the Big Daddy Youth Football Camp. And, my brother runs it. And it's a way for us to give back to our hometown because we have it at our high school, which is New Hyde Park Memorial High School. And we bring in former and current players and coaches, which is something that's not easy to pull off.
Yeah.
And because, in the summer, the guys they have their time off, so they have to give up, the day or 2 days and to join us. But we do a great job of involving the kids with the celebrity guests. And we also feed them after practice every day. We get one of the local restaurants every day to bring food. And, we have great supporters like Arizona Iced Tea, which supplies the water. And for the adults, we'll give them iced tea and whatever juices. The kids, we give them water because we don't want to put sugar on a young kid. And even though they do have sugar-free drinks, but we'll stick with water. And I keep saying but that's not proper English.
That's where you're from. That's your Italian, New York kind of coming out. I bring out the real Big Daddy.
I have it's funny because I have Spanish in my family, so Spanglish. It's as you say, Yiddish or gibberish or whatever. But what you see with me is what you get. And that. I think I just try to be simple. I try to be real, and like I said earlier, I like to do what I say.
Yeah. That is one thing about you for sure. And I really think when we talk about like love and life and how it brought you here, your passion for the game, your passion for people, your passion to just kind of live in who you are. You're not trying to be something other than what you are, has kind of brought these opportunities and this ripple effect throughout your life, that you have like a pretty cool resume of people and things that you've done.
Well, I've been blessed and fortunate. It's when you're able to get the press and coverage that I've been able to get throughout the years. I mean, I've been featured in the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, NFL Network. I've been.
Name.
Yeah, and it's like you Google me and it comes up all over the place.
Yeah.
And people know who you are, what you're about, and what you're doing, and I just try to keep my head above water and, again, do what I say and say what I do.
That is the truth. I got to say that Keith, he does have a storybook voice. And Travis, you are smaller than him. Like Travis, who I like do my veterans event emceeing and stuff with, Travis is a big guy. And Travis, I'm sorry, Big Daddy might have one up on you.
Well, look, I'm not trying to win a big man contest or anything like that.
Well, it's out there. It's out there. You can't have a name like that, and you can't without having a little bit of competition with you. One of the cool things about Big Daddy is when I go to New York and we go and hang out at the Donna Drake show, we always go to a little restaurant and we have espresso. If it's at night, we have our, our wine and our cheese and all of our food. What is that? Maybe you don't want to say because everybody will go there, but no. It's a great restaurant. I love it. I love Joe. I love the gang over there.
Yeah, we go and we sit down with Joe and Augie and Dominic at Cardinale Bakery and La Bodega, which are both next door to each other, which is 465 Westbury Avenue, Carl Place, New York. I spend that much time there, and they are family to me, and they have everyone's best interests at heart.
Yeah.
They are very giving, very charitable. They've supported me. They've supported a lot of different people. They're there for you during the good and the bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I could never say anything negative about that family or those two places because, one, great tasting, everything on both sides, even though I stay out of the bakery because it's not conducive to Big Daddy's diet to be in there. But on the other side, there's plenty of espresso to have, plenty of wine, and, healthy food.
It is. It's one of my favorite places. It's one of the things I look, besides spending time with you when I go to New York, like that's our place. I made it our place because that's the only place I always go to when I have
and it's you can never go wrong there because there's options from A to Z.
Yeah.
To do whatever you need to do to satisfy your hunger, your thirst.
I want to know. Okay, so because now I'm getting hungry, so we gotta get off the food topic. But tell me about your podcast. Why? What made you start your podcast, and how's that going? Tell me about that. Why?
Well, Big Daddy and Friends. It was an idea that was brought up to me by someone who used to be a Fox Business on-air talent. She recommended me to the parent company. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden I was on a phone call discussing podcasts and maybe introducing them to somebody. And then all of a sudden it's like, Big Daddy, why don't you do it? And I said, you know what? I'll do it. And honestly, I explained to a friend of mine earlier that the reason that I did it was because I knew I could do it in regards to getting people to join me. Mm-hmm. But I also wanted to do it to practice and be in front of the camera as much as possible. Mm-hmm. Because I was missing the times that I was going on air and going into New York City, with New York City being closed down and COVID and all that. So that allowed me to stay in front of the camera and use this platform to express my feelings, my thoughts, and share stories and have a laugh. And and not be your atypical host. Just really do something kind of out of the box and have like a us meeting at Starbucks or meeting in the locker room kind of chat.
Yeah.
And get into that kind of whole thing. And I've had my learning lessons or bumps as I go, because it's different when you're now one-on-one and compared to when you're on TV and you're the person being interviewed, or when you're doing the correspondence stuff and you're out running around getting interviews and whatnot. Total different ballgame. And, so that's been that's what Big Daddy and Friends is all about. We've done I think about 12 segments already, and some pretty big names. And I have a list that's coming down the pipeline that people will be blown away by some of those guests, because if my name is on it, I need it to be the best it could be. I need it to be at the top. And that format takes you even to other greater roads, because we know that I'm involved with my football camp. I'm bringing my Big Daddy Celebrity Golf Classic back this year, and that's going to be a game changing, bringing it to a whole different other level. And I've gotten behind some other things that are very time oriented, meaning like during these times, and one of those things is the women's empowerment group that I become an ambassador for. I'm now an ambassador for the Share group. How did
that happen? How did you become that? Tell me. I know there's a backstory somewhere.
Yeah, no, I'll explain. The CEO and founder, who you've met, is Angelica Steen Olsen. Yeah. Her and I have been friends for over 10 years. And, one thing led to another. I became involved in, this and that. And then all of a sudden, some of my friends have supported the group. And I even went to 2 different events in the city. And I had 2 of my guys come with me to the first event, and then I went to the second one on my own. So, women want to be heard. Women want equality. Women want to know that a man has their back. And I see it in business all the time, where some women may be, they deserve to have a greater standing, but they're kind of kept down. So I think when you look at the whole overall picture, what her group stands for is to be there for women, and part of the he-she, I guess it's called movement, with the United Nations. I got to get more versed on that, but I became the ambassador, and they're going to be a big part of my my golf classic in June. They'll be there to support, and we're going to bring women to this to add more flavor to the already great meal that we have that day.
Yeah.
And I expect you to be there as well.
Of course.
And so it's again, it's another tentacle, and it's something that's really needed and needs to be heard. So whatever I could do to help that move along and get it to greater heights, that's what we're here for.
I have this big belief of men and women, we each have our innate gifts that are inside us, and to enhance the woman and to enhance the male energy, you have to have both of them. So I love that this big guy kind of is backing this, because it's important. We can't just have an all women world and an all male world. It's amazing if any man's out there, when you don't have a woman, or then when you do, you understand what it brings, and vice versa. It's just this different energy and flow about things. So uber important to enhance and make it part of everybody's like forefront of their mind. So good for you.
Yeah, it's not that I don't have enough to deal with or do, but it's when it's a close friend and someone that you respect, admire, and look up to at the same time, you find the time, whether it's 5 minutes or an hour, or whatever it takes to get something done to be there for that ride, because it's a good ride.
Yeah, well, that is why we're so close. I think everybody that's in my close circle of friends has all of these things, right? All of these different projects that somehow kind of focus back to who the core of them are, but they're just like you. So it's no surprise that you are adding something else or have something like this going on, because it's just who you are. It makes you special.
Well, thank you. It's meaningful, it's helpful, and it helps me as well, because it's it doesn't put me in this snobby sports guy, whatever you want to call it. It means I'm well-rounded and versed.
True. That is true. You are a very well-rounded man.
Well, thank you, but you're biased, so that's okay.
Yeah, right. No jealous. I am biased. You have a special place in my heart. So we are closing up our segment here. It goes like so fast, especially when I am talking to people that are dear to my heart. But before I let you go, this is my last question. And I ask that you answer it with the first thing that comes to your mind. You don't even have to give an explanation. Just blurt it out, Big Daddy. What does love mean to you right now in this moment? What does love mean to you?
I'm talking to you, so that's what it means.
And the sweet taco's back.
Well, you know what? Love is a very I think, people use that word sometimes in a wrong fashion, because I think it's one of those things that comes out in the moment. Okay. And most of the time in the heat of passion, and oh, I love her or whatever, because you see her standing 5 feet from you, I'm in love.
Right.
And the one thing that I've learned, and I've been married, I failed at it, and that's another story, but I think when you really, when I know love, I believe it is knowing that you met the right person, that they're your teammate, your partner, and your best friend. And when you get past all the physical attributes, will that person be there for you in the end?
Right.
Would you, and I would say for me, would I carry that person? Would I go into a room, holding their hand, walking in side by side, or opening the door so they can go in first and I come in behind? I think those are things that are overlooked. And I think, again, the word love is when you're willing, and I always joke around, would you fight King Kong for that person that you love? I would fight King Kong for that person that I love.
That is you. All of that all does just sum up Big Daddy. I'm so glad I know I haven't seen you in person in so long, but I'm so glad I got to see you today.
Yes, I'm glad at least I get a video.
He's like going to give me crap when we hang up here, everybody.
To everyone out there, all you jealous guys, just know this. I'm lucky. Look at that.
And to everybody else out there, remember, as always, love hard, love pure, and love proactive. Until next time, we will see you. Take care.
You got it.
Oh.